So today we have Heather on our call, and Heather joined our community, and she's going to share a little bit about where she was before and what's happened since. And you're going to love her energy. I'm going to bring her on sooner rather than later because I can already see her beaming. She's showing up as her. She looks fabulous. And I also heard through the grapevine that her husband is so proud of her growth that he's actually joined our group just to watch her shine today. So I'm so grateful, Heather. Let's bring you on and have you unmute just a moment and really share with you your story. Welcome. Look at you.
So enthused to be here with you guys today.
You look stunning. Doesn't she look incredible?
You are so sweet. Thank you.
So Heather, I know that your story is going to help a lot of people because people wonder, like, can this work for me? Is this like, I'm feeling great for 2 days, but does it last? You know, where were you when you first were introduced to me, this work? Tell me about how life was.
So life was really great. I had a wonderful life. I made a pretty good living. I lived in a beautiful home, have a beautiful family. I was for sure hustling. Thought that to make more, I needed to work more, work harder. And I've always known from a very, very young age that I was different. But the cool thing is we're all different. Yeah. It's just becoming aware of that difference. Just like Danielle's been alluding to this week in Becoming, we're all different. We'll have the same power, but we're all different. So October 25th, 2021, so almost a year to the day, I said yes to the Empress experience, which includes thinking into results. And I remember before that having my first call with my success ambassador, Nora, and she asked what I wanted. And I was like, I don't know what I want. I mean, I have a great life. It's, I don't want to work any more than I am right now, but I'd love to make more money. And so from there, jumped into TIR, and my husband's my biggest supporter, and I love that he's watching. That's so awesome. And we had a conversation about it, and he was like, I just don't really understand. You're so driven. Like you're successful. You can totally do this on your own. You don't really need, someone to help you, a coach. And I was like, okay, and then about a week and a half later, he came back and said, no, like, I trust you. I know that you're going to do what's best for you and our family. So let's do it. So we jumped in and haven't looked back. It's been an incredible experience. It absolutely does last. And I'll tell you guys what really made me jump in was creating a legacy of thinkers for my family. I wanted to make sure that, it started with me, that I got into this growth and awareness work, and then knowing that my family's never going to have to worry about any poverty, nothing like that, that it's all going to be abundance from here on out was so important for me. And I knew that was always possible. I just didn't know, was this possible?
Wow. I just got shivers. Did anyone else get shivers when she said that? Legacy of thinkers. Mm. And I just like, it tears me up because I also experienced that I knew that if I changed my own money paradigm, my own story, that my daughter would never worry about where the money was coming from. My grandkids, her kids will never worry about that because it stops with you. Mm. The paradigms stop with you, and you teach. Here's the thing. What I love about your story is Heather was already successful. So I know there are people on this call that have had success in their life, and you may be feeling like, well, I want more, but I want to work more like Heather, or like I'm guilty for even wanting more. And with Heather's success, she was an unconscious competent. She was very high up in her company already, like doing fantastic, her relationship, all of it. And it just keeps getting better. But what we can't do when we're an unconscious competent is teach this to our kids, to our team. because we don't know exactly what's happening. And so what I love, so if you're in a place where you can resonate with Heather, that where you've had success, imagine becoming consciously aware of what has brought you success in the past. And literally, you'll be able to manifest, create your results literally on demand, because you become consciously aware and then teach. And like your words, a legacy of thinkers. It's huge. Now, for those not like don't believe quite like Heather does, because there's some of you on the call as well. What would you say, Heather, to those who don't yet believe, haven't experienced it for themselves? What would you say, knowing where you are now, knowing it's been a year in this material? What would you say to them?
So you don't know until you know. And like Bob always says, if your way's not working, why not try mine? I mean, what's it going to hurt? If you've got this, these people saying you can have abundance, it's your birthright. Why not? Why not try it? I can tell you, for me, my life's changed dramatically. I opened up Bates Wealth Strategies. I am a partner in another national financial planning firm. I went from a team of 1 to a team of 4. And we'll talk about do you want me to talk about the home now? Okay.
Yeah. And this is all 1 year, by the way. It hasn't even been
all 1 year.
Right?
Yes. Incredible. And another thing Bob says is you'll need a telescope to look back, and you need something more than that. I don't know if there is something more than that, but you need something more than that. So team from 1 to 4, an incredible team. And so our home story, so visualization is something we've talked about in Becoming. It is such an incredibly powerful tool. And if you don't do it, please start, because it truly is the way to get to where you want to be. So I started in January of 2022. I wrote out a visualization for me to start visualizing. And that was that we were going to buy more land and we were going to build our dream home. So fast forward to April of 2022, we found some land that we love, 37 acres, and we were talking about it, and we just decided, let's do it. No clue where the down payment was going to come from. We did not have the money for the down payment. No clue if we were going to stay in our house, sell our house, what was going to happen. So we got to a place where we agreed with the buyers, accepted, and all that. So I wrote down not long after that I was going to manifest $95,000 for the down payment on this land. 30 days later, our lender came back and said, we're going to decline y'all. We're not going to lend you guys the funds for the land. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. I've already seen in my mind, so I know it's ours. So we'll just move on to the next phase. So we found another lender. And then we closed another 30 days later. I manifested $88,422 of the down payment. Closed on that land. So that felt great. Someone told us no, we got approved, manifested the down payment. But let me back up for just a second. Whenever I started visualizing this before we found our land, I could see in my visualization 2 things. One were these cute little rose-colored rain boots. And then the second was I could see my husband and I and our 2 kids looking up behind the house. So like, okay, I didn't really think of anything of it. Well, we get the land, we start the home plans and all that. And I made this realization that our home is going to be on top of a hill, and down below there's a beautiful hay pasture, and we were going to be looking up at the back of our house. And then I bought these rose-colored boots. So in my mind, I knew, again, I see this in my mind, so I'm going to hold it in my hand. So fast forward a little bit more, we found an incredible lender who is lending now the build of our home. We closed on that last week. Our land is paid off from the incredible profit we made on the sale of our home. We got lended for way more money than the other lender declined us for, at a 4.75% rate when rates just hit 7%. So if you visualize it, you're holding it in your mind, you're seeing it, and then you will hold it in your hand if you just continue to have that desire and feed that desire. That's just been, again, all this is in a year, y'all. It's just it's crazy. So for those of you that may wonder what this is about, if this works, to say that this work works is a complete understatement. And there's no way for you to really know until you jump in and find out for yourself. And it's been an incredible ride. And the cool thing is, we're just getting started. Like, this is just scratching at the surface.
I always say life keeps getting better and better and better. Like it has to, because we keep becoming more and more aware. And it's like, what's next? So now she's got her dream home. What's next? What's next? What's next? What do you want? Can everyone feel like it's like the faith as she talks, like she has a knowing? Would you agree? Like it rumbles from you. Like I can feel it in my bones. And that faith that Heather has is not by mistake. It comes through study. It comes through every day. Heather shows up. We have study clubs. She keeps accountable to the others in the study club and for herself. Accountability is the key against failure. So insurance against failure. And because of that, you're here and you're now just like speaking, like there's no one that can come to Heather and tell her that this is not true. Like she will never be shaken because she knows the truth. She knows how it works. She understands the laws. Why? Because she's applied them, the universal laws. And that's through this work. So that's a year after being here with us. And now Heather's like now a leader in our community, which is cool. We've got a question from Michelle. How do you stop the voice that won't work for me? Well, that voice is the paradigm. And that's what thinking into results teaches you what to do. It reprograms your subconscious mind. I didn't come up with the system. That is Bob Proctor's program. And that's why Heather said, she's registered for the year because it includes that program. And I believe that nothing else is worth in doing until we have that, because unless we go to the root cause and reprogram our mind, but once you do and you apply it, like Heather said, you'll have a knowing. You'll have a knowing. I am so grateful to hear your story. Do you have anything else to add for someone that is just like on the tip, like ready to jump?
So I know one thing I did want to make sure I read was a couple of lines from my self-image script, if that's okay.
Yes.
So let me find that. So I wrote this last year sometime, and then I kind of added to it and rewrote it in August. And insert your word, God, source, universe. I choose God, but a couple of lines from my self-image script. God is more concerned with my being than my doing. I have trust, which is total reliance upon spiritual timing. I rely on God in both the wait and the pursuit. He is never late. He is always on time. God has created a desire in me in the realm of the unseen. He has equipped me to trust and act upon his instruction, regardless of opinion or conditions. The world needs what I have, my mind, gifts, and personality. I was specifically handcrafted by heaven for such a time as this. So I would say that last line is very powerful. The world needs you and what you have and your mind and your gifts, because there is no one else like you. We all have the power, but we're all different. We all have, different things that we have to offer to the world. And this awareness work and the way you grow is figuring out what that is for you and what your purpose is. And it's a roadmap. It's so easy because it's just learning more about you and being comfortable with you. And that paradigm can sneak its head up, but I tell you, thinking into results is the best way to quit that paradigm for good.
You said it's so easy. Did others catch that? It's so easy. When you have the roadmap to just follow, it's really easy. And so it becomes a decision. Do you want the easy way, the guided way, right? Or do you want to figure it out? I feel like trial and error, trial and error. So when you said that, it just really landed for me. I was like, you're right. It is easy because we take out the guessing. Yeah, so good. Wow.
The last thing I'll add is I will second what my husband said, 100%. I probably could have done this at some point. Yes. In a year, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And the awareness would not be at the same level as it is now. And to add to that, like Danielle always says, we never go back. So like once you have the awareness, there is no rewinding. Like you are there and then you create a new paradigm and you keep moving forward and creating more awareness, and just the impact that we can have on others it's incredible.
And the awareness doesn't go away because it's like you turn a light switch on. So you can't forget what you now know about yourself. Does that resonate with everyone? You see how that works? And so, Heather, that's so good. You said something else that I wanted to touch on. Oh my gosh. I also am very present to your energy, how calm you are. That comes with that faith and that knowing. How cool. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. I know what it was now. Because you said, could I have done this on my own? Absolutely. In a year? No way. That's a big piece, isn't it?
Mm.
So when you first, like before this work and thinking about the dream home and the business, like being a partner in a firm, how long would you have said, like, before this work, that you'd be happy if that came to you, and how many years?
Oh gosh, probably 10.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. That's so interesting because for me, after my first year in this work, I accomplished what I thought I would have accomplished in about, I said 7 to 10 years.
And
That's
that was a big piece of my yes, is creating a legacy of thinkers. I didn't want to wait anymore. I didn't want to wait 5, 10, 15 years to spend more time with my family and to do the things we want to do. I didn't want to wait. I wanted it to happen now.
Are you working harder now, or what does that look like?
No, I work about 30-ish hours a week. And the goal is to cut that in half very, very soon. And income wise, so I am on track to double my income for 2022 that I had in 2021. I was trying to think if there's anything else. Jumped to council level, just bought my dress for Maui. So we'll see some of you in Maui in October next year.
That's her incentive trip for her company. So I know you all have, everyone has incentive trips. So that would be Heather's is Hawaii. How cool. Well, I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
And you've been coachable. You followed the process, the steps, just like what Bob asked you to do. And I want to thank you for your leadership in our community as well. And your energy. Beautiful, gorgeous. Your family must be so proud. I'm sure your husband's beaming watching you. And thank goodness, like not everyone, I didn't have a supportive husband. And so that's also a thing too. You may not have partner or family that supports the decision. That's okay. That's okay. I can help you with that. And Heather, I want to show my gratitude to your husband that he did support you. That really means a lot. I know.
It does. Yeah. And thank you, Danielle. I always like to show gratitude to you and Bob. You guys have dedicated your life to this, and that's an incredible thing, because this is what's changing the world.
Thank you. I got that. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.